Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name is Oladimi Oluwabomi, and I'm here with Mrs. Bisi who is the coordinator of UNILAG Radio. And ma'am, we know you've been into radio for a long while now. What are the take, or what is your idea about radio in the UNILAG, in this UNILAG?
Well, working for a campus station, of course, is different from working, with other radio stations. Now, I've had the opportunity of working in both because I'd worked for years with Voice of Nigeria, which is the external service of the Federal Radio Corporation. That's what it was called then. And working there, of course, the challenges I faced there was, of course, working long hours. When you work with a media organization, whether it's print, radio, or TV, you work for long hours. You don't have a time for resuming, a particular time for resuming, a particular time for closing. On days you might have to resume very early, because when you have assignments you have to do very early. At times where you can take your time and resume a bit later, but of course that day you're going to close late. And of course you work public holidays. There's nothing like public holiday. You can't say, public holiday is coming up, I'm going to rest. There's nothing like that, because your programs have to go on. And some people might even give you appointments over the holiday. So of course there's nothing like weekends, because sometimes you have programs that you have to do at weekends. Then of course there's also the challenges of maybe keeping to deadlines, and maybe difficulties in getting your program material. Your listener doesn't want to know that, okay, this producer, this presenter had problems. All they want to hear is the program. The program must sound good. They don't know whatever you've gone through.
Just want to see.
So when you're doing your program, you just have to bear that in mind, that your listener wants to hear something good. So whatever you've gone through, you just have to try your best to overcome all those problems. And then now coming to work in the campus station, of course we have the same challenges I had before, working, public holidays, extra times, Then of course here I have to combine my work with seeing to the running of the station with also administrative work as well. So that can be a bit of a challenge. Then of course working with students is a different thing altogether. It's different, In other big organizations, you have people who are experienced, experienced and qualified, who are in news, in production, the technical people, all of them are experienced. But when you work in a campus station, we do a lot of training. If you come at any particular day, you find that the station is full of students, not only students from UNILAG, but students from other institutions who are on industrial training. I know managing students at times, it is not, it can be a bit of a challenge, because, students being students, sometimes they misbehave, but as they're misbehaving, you have to try and correct them and tell them, these are the do's and don'ts in a broadcast organization, because we don't say this is a campus station, so we don't do things professionally.
And this is the last question. What are your advice for the new people, your students coming into radio for vocational, into media?
Well, my advice is to know the area in which you are good in. I say this because we have many students who come and they say they want to be presenters. They want to read news. And they think being a presenter, reading news is glamour. But it's more than that. Because nobody can come to our station and say they want to be a presenter, want to read news without going through an audition. And when they do this audition and they don't pass the audition, some of them get miserable. I know some of them have said that if you go to UNILAG FM, there's one woman there who makes face, and because we want, quality, But there are other areas you can go into in the media. You can work in production, in marketing. You can work in the studio, studio management. You can work in the newsroom as a reporter or a news editor. You can even work as a radio librarian. And working as a radio librarian is a very important part of the whole broadcasting setup. So it's for everybody to know the areas in which you're really good at, yes, and then pursue that area.
Thank you very much, Mrs.
You're
Bisi,
welcome.
and we really appreciate this time you brought to us.